Small steps lead to big changes. Namaskar, welcome to Next IS. I hope you are doing well. In this video, we will cover major headlines of the Hindu, Indian Express, and Press Information Bureau. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. And your first article focuses upon 8th Pay Commission because recently government has approved the establishment of 8th Pay Commission, fulfilling a demand from central trade unions and employees organizations. It will have chairperson and two members. Usually, a retired Supreme Court judge heads the Pay Commission, and its recommendations are expected to boost consumption, economic growth, and improve the quality of life for central government employees. Here you must know that 7th Pay Commission, headed by Justice A.K. Mathur, began in 2014 and it submitted its report in 2016, and its term will end in 2026. Next article talks about Jallikattu because recently 6 persons were killed in Jallikattu and other bull sport in Tamil Nadu. Talking about Jallikattu, it is a traditional bull taming sport from Tamil Nadu where participants attempt to tame a bull by grabbing its horns, tail, or clinging to its hump. It is usually held during the Pongal festival. And here you must know that in 2023, Supreme Court's bench termed that bull taming event is a part of cultural heritage and tradition of people of Tamil Nadu. Next article focuses upon devaluation, which is a monetary tool used to decrease the value of currency. And recently, Indian rupee experienced a sharp devaluation after being stable for over 2 years. And in this article, we will know the reason behind devaluation and its implications. Here you must know that India follows a managed float exchange rate regime where Reserve Bank of India adjusts the rupee's value in response to market conditions. But in recent years, RBI shifted towards a fixed exchange rate approach, stabilizing rupee despite economic pressures. However, the rupee has recently devalued likely due to rising capital outflows and increased imports, especially oils. And here you must know that devaluation has both positive and negative effects. For example, it can boost exports by making domestic goods cheaper, but it also raised domestic prices due to higher cost for imported goods. For example, 1991 rupee devaluation was a critical step in India's economic liberalization, which enabled exports to surge and tariff to drop. Now let's know some key terms associated with this article. And here first is nominal exchange rate, which is the price of foreign currency in terms of domestic currency. Next is real exchange rate, which is a relative cost of domestic goods compared to foreign goods. And in the last, let's understand types of exchange rate policies. And here first is fixed exchange rate, where central bank adjusts reserves to maintain a fixed rate. Next is floating exchange rate, and here central bank allows the currency to fluctuate based on market conditions. And here next and last is managed floating exchange rate, and here central bank intervenes occasionally by both devaluing the currency and selling reserves, and India has mainly followed this approach. Now, Reserve Bank of India has introduced liberalized norms to promote use of Indian rupee and other local currencies for cross-border transactions. This move comes as the rupee hits an all-time low. And here you must know that RBI has signed agreements with central banks of UAE, Indonesia, and Maldives to facilitate local currency settlements. Additionally, it has expanded the use of special rupee through accounts to allow overseas residents to settle transactions with India. The new regulations also enable foreign investment using repatriable INR accounts and allow Indian exporters to open foreign currency accounts for trade settlements. Next article talks about Fast Track Immigration Trusted Traveler Program, which will be inaugurated by Union Home Minister at 7 major airports, and it aims to streamline international travel with automated e-gates for faster and secure immigration clearance. And it will allow Indian nationals and overseas citizen of India card holders to register online, undergo biometric verification, and use e-gates for clearance. Next article is related to SVAMITVA Scheme because Prime Minister will distribute more than 65 lakh property cards under this scheme. Now let's know more about this scheme. It is being implemented by Ministry of Panchayat Raj as a central sector scheme, and it aims to provide a record of rights to village household owners possessing houses in inhabited areas in villages. Under this scheme, legal ownership rights are issued by mapping of land parcels using drone technology. Now India ranked second for digital skills in QS World Future Skills Index, ahead of Canada and Germany. Prime Minister of India praised this achievement, highlighting the government's effort over the past decade to empower youth with skills for self-reliance and wealth creation. Union Finance Minister also emphasized the government's focus on skilling youth for prosperous future, noting India's fourth rank in artificial intelligence and green skills. Now, India's electronic exports rose 35.11% in December 2024, it is driven by increased foreign demand and growing domestic production. And here you must know that electronic sector has become India's fastest growing export category, which is supported by the success of production linked incentive scheme. And smartphone exports in particular saw a 45% increase as companies like Apple and Samsung expanded production in India. Next and last headline talks about OPEC's recent prediction about global oil demand. And recently it has forecast global oil demand demand to grow by 1.43 billion barrel per day. This prediction is based on strong economic activity in Asia and non-OECD countries. OPEC also expects global economic growth of 3.1% in 2025 and 3.2% in 2026, driven by stable growth in major economies. Talking about OPEC, it stands for Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, and it is a permanent intergovernmental organization which was established at Baghdad Conference in 1960 by five founding members, which include Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela. It aims to coordinate and unify petroleum policies among member countries to ensure fair and stable oil prices. So, with this, let's conclude today's discussion. Thanks for listening. And for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.